Look, man.
Where?
Oh, I see.
Wow.
Oh, my. Bowen, look over there.
Wow, is that
culture? Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. Las Culturistas.
Ding dong, Las Culturistas calling. It's a big day. We've sang our guest song in front of her already.
Well, because I first heard about the truly seminal, superb, I was going to say superior single, Two Hands, through you because you were saying in the group chat, ooh, Two Hands just came on in the coffee shop and I couldn't help it.
It was it was a shoulder shaker in the coffee shop.
What did you say? Like you caught yourself like just
gyrating.
You were gyrating.
Giving Tate.
You were giving Tate in the coffee shop.
I mean, listen, it's one of those. It doesn't really matter who's around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Just to, we haven't acknowledged this. This is and we're not like big dogging in front of our guests or anything, but we this is our first time we've seen our Webby Award. 2024 Webby Award winner, Best Podcast Individual Episodes Comedy.
Yeah, this is really good. So we were thinking that maybe our guest could present us with the award.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Would Tate McRae, would you give us our Webby Award?
Yeah, of course. What's a Webby Award?
Okay, so a Webby Award is if you do anything on the internet, like post or comment.
Yeah,
you might get nominated.
You could get nominated for a Webby.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
anyone with any online activity is sort of up for this.
Wow. And
this is best individual episodic comedy episode.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And so we're just kind of in our chairs.
Yeah.
Kind of
so I guess
at the ceremony.
Just pretend you're opening an envelope.
Well,
we're nervous.
The 2024 Webby Award winner goes to Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang.
To get this from Tate McRae.
Thank you, Tate.
Congratulations, guys.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Do you have a speech prepared?
You go.
I just want to thank Tate McRae for gifting us with this. That we couldn't have got it from someone that's more important to culture at this moment. And this is going to dovetail into our intro. So Close to What? We are in the So Close to What era.
We're in the So Close to What? We're in the Miss Possessive era, Miss Possessive tour era, as it were.
And we've been in the era.
We've been in the era. Okay. I think by the time this episode comes out, we've gotten to listen to the episode, the album early.
Mm-hmm.
Album comes out February 21st.
Hitting.
Tour starts March 18th.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
a Pisces season tour.
It's a Pisces season tour.
No, I think it's just
we're after Pisces.
Yeah, I think
we'll
it's
talk
after.
about it. Yeah,
We'll
it's right after.
it.
Yeah.
We got to talk about your signs. And
please.
We got to talk about your
we gotta
signs.
talk about your signs. There's some
Read
stuff
me,
to get
okay.
to. Oh no.
We bring out the tarot cards. We don't know shit.
She is someone who we've spoken about on this podcast as an equally balanced three-header.
Mm-hmm.
Just three hyphenate. I guess it's two hyphens, but it's three titles.
Mm-hmm.
Singer, songwriter, dancer, all three. She's truly incredible. The album hadn't come out. Think Later hadn't come out when you went on when you were on SNL, right?
No, I was still making it. Yeah.
You were still making it.
Yeah.
I'd heard Greedy, obviously. Had heard You Broke Me First. I was like, I like this take. Oh, the first time I heard Tate was on Troy's track. Great song.
Aww, I love
Great
that
song.
It is.
And then she comes on SNL, and then whatever. We'll bring her in first, and then I just want to tell you about this moment because it was truly an earth-shaking moment for everybody at SNL.
Okay.
But we love her so much. Listen to the album, out February 21st. Please welcome into your ears,
Tate McRae! Thank you for putting up with our bullshit and giving us our award.
Thank you for having me. I didn't know when to come in. I was like, should I sit back?
We actually do. We do that intro for everyone, and it's actually since we've started doing video, people get really upset because they see the person sitting there.
Right.
It's sort of like it's not just like usually.
Yeah, I felt like it was like a closed conversation.
It was a closed conversation. Everyone, the tots are gonna be out there being like, "Why the fuck are they wasting her time?"
Right.
But no one will
mad
never do
they're
that
nice.
again.
They'll be fine.
They are
they're
nice.
sweet.
They're sweet.
Yeah.
Pure.
To sort of create a really nice fan community has to feel good.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
It feels
They're
like
not
the
nasty.
exception to the rule. Feels like every fandom is like a little bit mean. And
They're
but
terrifying. All stands, I think, are a little terrifying.
Yeah.
how did we get here?
Were you ever a terrifying stand for someone? When did you get closest?
Honestly, I think like the closest like fangirl I've been is like to Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Like I've just been obsessed with her for a very long time.
Yes.
And she's like the closest I think I've gotten. And then maybe like Rihanna. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like those two are like the girls that I'll like die for.
So Ariana and Navy.
Yeah.
But like, because this is the thing, like, I'm sure the Britney comparisons are like flattering, but at the same time, you were like a zygote when she was like out there, like
already very popular. I was thinking about that. How like a lot of the millennial gays are like, it's Britney 2.0, like get on board. And I'm like, I wonder how you feel about that. Like it's like because she wasn't it wasn't like us where it was like we remember when Britney came out.
Yeah. I think comparisons are just hard because like obviously every person that comes onto the scene, they instantly get a comparison because people just like familiarity.
Yeah.
But I think it's just hard because like you can't recreate great art like that. Like it's a new thing.
We're here to I bring this up not to like I'm not to like reiterate this, but I'm just saying like you stan R because that is your generation of like coming up watching Nickelodeon being like, oh my God, I love her. You know what I mean? And it wasn't necessarily Britney at the time because you were like still like
a baby. Like zero.
A true baby.
Totally.
Literally 0 years old.
0 years old.
Baby vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you miss being a baby?
A little bit.
I want to be a baby.
I want to be a baby.
That naive was like being that naive is a nice feeling.
Yeah.
I kind of want to be an iPad baby more than anything else. But
Why is that?
Just a baby that's on the iPad.
Right.
And they're in heaven, but their brains are cooked.
They are frying.
They're frying in front of.
Like a baby that just can absolutely slay a device.
I think that's most babies nowadays.
It's crazy.
Truly.
Yeah.
Tate, do you think the slutty glasses are the accessory of the year?
These ones?
You know the ones.
Like everyone wears, and as someone who's not
Are
worn
you
a
calling
slutty,
these the slutty glasses?
these are not the slutty glasses, but I'm saying everyone's wearing the slutty glasses now, and I feel like you really pushed that forward in a huge way, and you should be so proud. Yes.
Thank you. I love a slutty glass. Like I think it's really nice.
Right. Why are you wearing them now?
I didn't think it really fit the fit.
Fuck.
Because they're our prop.
Today's a classy day.
Today's not a slutty
Did I say
day.
that to
Today's
this
not a
fake
slutty
plant?
day. Yeah, it's a classy day.
Well, thank you for classing it up.
Of course. Anything
Have you met
guys.
Ariana yet?
No, I haven't.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Okay, let's
call her.
We'll call her.
Please.
Wait.
Great.
Do you have a favorite Ari era?
I mean, I kind of like Dangerous Woman was like my shit. I just think that Into You is like the best pop song ever created.
And have you gone on record to say this before? Because
I actually don't think so.
this can unite, this can heal the nation's wounds.
Okay.
Because we can all agree across generations that Into You is one of the best pop songs ever written.
I truly think it is one of the best of all time.
Yes.
And I think it like didn't at first like get the recognition that it deserved.
No.
I do think it was actually pop perfection. And I remember talking to Ilya about it, who like produced the song, and he was like, we crafted it over like such a long time. And
that like
I was
first
like, well, it's perfect.
pre-chorus is
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a perfect song. So I think Dangerous Woman was like my favorite. There's also just like little album cuts that when I was younger were just like my shit. Like just like in the car, like really feeling them. Like thinking about you and
I love thinking about you.
And Touch It are just like insane.
I was gonna say Touch It.
They're
I almost
so
feel like
good.
because Into You looms so large and people talk about that song, even though it like was a single and people agree it didn't get the shine, the song that gets lost is Touch It.
I fully agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like serotonin.
So good.
Crazy.
Those hooks, crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, Ilya was It's Okay, I'm Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So talk about that. It's the first time working with him, right?
I've worked with him a couple
he did stuff on the last album.
I've worked with him like a couple times, but we haven't released that many records together. I write all the time.
Yeah.
But this was like one of my first ones I wrote with him.
I feel like when I first became like super aware of you was You Broke Me First. And do you want to know why? It's because I was scrolling and Kelly Clarkson had covered You Broke Me First on her show. And I remember she did like a different arrangement of it. Like she did like a more like I guess like
Clarkson version.
Kelly Clarkson rendition of it. But the lyrics were jumping out and I was like, I get why she picked this song because the lyrics are great and you're such a great writer. And I feel like sometimes in the dance of it all, like when you see someone like slaying as hard and executing on such a level as you are, people aren't realizing that there's like real writing going on. Have you been doing that since before you started like taking dance as seriously, or was it always like a like equal passion, or is that something that you discovered when you realized like recorded music could be a thing?
Well, I started off as a dancer.
Yeah.
So trained super intensely since I was 8 years old, like 40 hours a week. Like,
wow.
I was at a ballet school.
I was going to say, you're ballet trained. That's intense.
Like 6 hours of ballet a day, like very intense. At one point, I like literally went to Berlin to become a ballerina. Like,
wow.
And then I was like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Because it was so difficult?
Yeah.
Or?
I mean, I was 12 at the time. I was like competing in ballet. Like, I was just like, I was so creative. I just needed to like not do the same thing every day.
Yeah.
And then it was So You Think You Can Dance after that?
Yeah, I did So You Think You Can Dance at age 13.
Uh-huh.
And then when I was 13, so yeah, I was competing my whole life. Dance was like everything to me. I was like, this is the only thing I'm going to do in my life is dance. And then I went on So You Think You Can Dance and moved to LA for 2.5 months. And then got back home to Calgary, and I was just like, I am so bored.
Right.
Like, I was just on TV.
Right.
You came third place?
Yeah, it was a really crazy 2.5 months.
Yeah. But you were in it till the bitter end.
We were in it to the end.
Wow.
And I was like the only Canadian on this like American voted show. It was like,
right. Which is kind of impressive to place third.
Yeah, it was weird. Like none of my friends or family could like vote in the show. Like
Wow.
I'm like, well, fuck, this sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got home and I started this YouTube channel, and I was like, I'm gonna choreograph dances every week and post them every Friday and post them on YouTube. And then one day my camera broke, and I was like, fuck, my camera broke. Like, this is ruined. Like, my Friday posting isn't happening. So then I locked myself in my bedroom, and I was just like, I'm just gonna write a song. And so I taught myself how to play The Chords of Tequila by Dan and Shay.
Wow, great one.
Great song.
Wow.
And I started playing these like C chords, and then wrote this song in like 2 hours, and then showed my parents, and they were like, absolutely not. You cannot like put this on the internet.
Why? What was that?
Because they're just like, this is like not good. Like they didn't get it at the time.
But you were in the zone. You were locked the fuck in.
I was locked in.
For 2 hours, you wrote a song.
I was locked in. They were like, can you please shut up? I was like singing so much. And then like blew up overnight and just became
that song?
That song blew up overnight. Like got called by like 14 record labels within like 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden, like I was like, okay, maybe I should like start songwriting more.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I feel like there was a time when dance got like kind of compartmentalized into something else, and then there were like, and then you merged the two, right?
Yeah. So then after, eventually when I released You Broke Me First at age 16, I was still in high school, finishing, like doing homeschooling and finishing everything, and then doing dance on one side and then singing on the other side. And my career started to like pick up a little bit, but I was stuck at home in COVID. And so I started this like singing career, but I was like, dance is just so separate. Like this isn't a thing that should be mixed. Like, and so I just never knew how to connect the dots. I was just like, this will be the one side of me, and then the other side of me is just a thing of the past.
Right.
And then obviously as I grew up, like 17, 18, 19, I was just like, something is like really missing. And then I ended up like
Fusing.
being like, I want to do pop more intensely. And and so then I feel like I've like finally found a perfect mesh of like dance and singing.
So what happened at SNL was you came in on Thursdays.
Yeah,
to rehearse.
what happened? I want to know your perspective.
It's just because we get the camera feed upstairs on the 17th floor as we're writing and doing rewrites for the week. It was Jason Momoa as your host. Yeah, that was a fun show.
It was fun.
He was like giving everybody his like new vodka. Did he give you a bottle of vodka by the way? Okay, thank God, because you were a minor.
Yeah.
But you were on the bleachers. You were doing Greedy.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, it reminded me of when BTS came and like they were doing their dances and everyone was like, ah, my God, something's happening. Like something about dance on that stage is really, really powerful.
Yeah. Right.
And you were doing it like throwing I was
going crazy.
Well, because, and this is a crazy comparison, but I've been watching like old Jackie Chan movies, and like that man uses his body like a fucking Swiss Army knife, and you were doing the same. I was like, you were going off, and we were all screaming and with joy, being like, this girl is amazing.
Aww.
And it was this moment in the writer's room where we were all like, we're just freaking out over you.
Really, I was so nervous.
I would imagine.
It also just feels like on that stage is so small.
It's so tiny.
That like doing a dance break, I was like, is this kind of weird?
No.
Like, I didn't know. No. I really didn't know because I was just like, oh my God, is this like a little extra to like be doing a full dance break on like a little box?
No.
Like,
but I get, because it is so much smaller than you think. When you go in there, you're like, wait, this is the whole ass set.
Right.
Yeah, and also the sound in there is very like,
it's weird. The acoustics are weird.
It's just a little empty sounding.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like it's like full, but then also empty in a way. Like I could hear every sneaker. Like
that's so crazy
so I was
to
like,
think
this
about.
is like crazy.
Well, because so there's like it's like basically like we call them the bleachers as it were, but it's like a mezzanine, and it's wide, and then the floor audience is like to your left.
Yes.
And so you're performing this way, but most of the audience is like in this concentration, and
yes,
it's
you're not really performing to the audience.
No, and or to the cameras in a way.
No.
Like it's hard to parse it out. But
Yeah,
like, did like the experience on like a show, like on a TV show, help with that before or no?
I think so.
Yeah.
The weird part about dancing and singing is when I was a dancer, I used to like hold all my nerves in my throat.
Oh, right.
And then I could just cough on stage, and like no one would hear me because the music was loud.
You're an asthma legend.
I'm an asthma legend.
Yes.
So that's a crazy
title of asthma legend.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Do you embrace it, or did I say something insane?
No, I do embrace it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it stuck with me. So.
You've had to embrace it.
I had to, yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Because I've just heard you talk about your inhaler.
Yeah, I do. I embrace it.
You must. There's no choice but to embrace it.
Right, because it's there.
Is Greedy the song that changed everything? Yes.
Yeah, I think You Broke Me First changed like a little bit, and then Greedy, I think, changed just like the way people like maybe looked at me.
Right.
Just because they didn't know I danced.
That part, that's I guess what I mean is it's like when I say changed everything, I'm specifically talking about like the way that you fuse both sides of your creativity.
Yeah.
Because honestly, when I heard You Broke Me First, it would never have crossed my mind that you were not only a dancer, but the best dancer. Then when I found out, she came from So You Think You Could Dance, I was like, huh? I was like, this, because it really
it's so
doesn't.
polar opposite.
It's so polar opposite. And so then you make this decision, and is Greedy a song that unlocked things, or was it like that just the single in that group of things?
I think it unlocked a lot for me.
Yeah.
I think figuring out how to write over a beat that I would actually dance to was like mission impossible for me. Like I was just like, I write ballads and I know how to write over piano and chords and things that make me feel things. And then I basically just had to train myself to write over beats.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's just like learning how to do something.
But even like the even the style of songwriting is changing, because you've also said that like you like doing your set of chords, but now it's like songwriting now is like it's got to take a weird little turn
it has
in
to
like the middle or something.
Unpredictable.
Yeah.
Is it hard to keep up with?
I mean, yeah, I think it's like, it's just times are different now. Like I used to write songs for my middle school and high school emotional self.
Yes.
And that was just like my form of expression and very therapeutic for me. And now it's like my career. So it feels like now I envision it on tour. I envision it like, I think there's just like way more components that come into the songwriting room. That just change it for me. And that's like very inspiring, thinking about tour and thinking about performances while you're writing.
It has
to different.
It has to be. Like, because I would imagine like, will you break it down and like do like not to reveal what you're going to be doing, but like, will you give an acoustic set? Like, is that something that excites you?
Yeah, I love acoustic sets too.
Yeah.
Because then it feels like that full side of me that, isn't like the one I usually do on stage.
Because you would imagine that it's like I'm someone that knew you from You Broke Me First, and what struck me at first, because I wasn't even hearing you sing it, I was hearing Kelly sing it. I was like, wow, these lyrics are great. And also for that to be one of your early songs, it's kind of complicated that like, it's like, it's kind of like complicated.
It is complicated.
And so the songwriting jumped out to me first. And then, but probably the world first, like, heard you on Greedy and like knows you as a dancer. So there's probably most people don't know that you're going to give the songwriting depth that you're going to give. So that's going to be exciting for people to discover at the show.
Yeah. I think my real fans know that. Sometimes it is difficult because people only see like me doing a dance break online and they'll be like, she never sings. I'm like, fuck me, I'm singing this whole show.
Yeah, I've been singing.
Like I'm and sometimes they just like they only see the dance break. So then I'm just like, it's sometimes like you need to watch the whole show. You don't know. You don't know the whole picture.
I think the rollout for this album has been like mission accomplished. It's like it is all living in the same space.
Thank you.
Because like it's okay, I'm okay. Like the first time I saw it, I was like, oh my god, she's
he was like
out getting arrested.
She's tits out getting arrested.
Like
I was like,
we went
it's
there.
a pop moment.
It's a pop moment, and then we went there, and then two hands. I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's really great.
Thank you.
Do you have a car thing?
It was mostly just because I feel like the album was like a lot of it just was around like these road visuals. Every time that I would like write a song, I would just envision like a never ending road. And maybe that was because I was literally on the road all year and like felt like things were never ending.
Yeah.
But I had that like constant visual in my head. So when I heard Two Hands, I was like, we could do a video like this that could be really sick.
It's gas station vibes.
And then Sports Car just happened to be named Sports Car. Yeah.
Totally. Okay, but you're saying the tour felt never ending. You just finished.
Yeah.
You're about to go back.
Yeah.
How does that sit with you?
I mean, luckily I love tour.
Yeah.
I think it's very fun. This is also my first time doing arenas.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Which has been like a lifelong dream of mine. Yeah. So I'm very like excited for that. So
you have to be.
It's like feels like a new chapter. I also, as a dancer, I feel like you are just used to just like never stopping.
Oh, totally. I get that. So the pace of life is it will be daunting for anyone, but it's something that you're accustomed to.
Yeah, I think so. As a dancer.
Because the ballet training is like, it's like you might as well be living in like a nunnery. It's so disciplined.
It is. It's crazy. It's exhausting. Honestly, ballerinas, I think I have like one of the hardest jobs in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is easier than
sometimes that. Being a pop star feels a little like easier in some way. Like a little bit.
Oh
like
my
a little
God.
more relaxing.
Do you find that you can connect with like other pop girls? Like, because I would have because it sounds like, of course, for fans being like, oh, like they think about the pop girly thing. And like, there's that discussion obviously about like Charlie and Lorde and like them bridging the gap and everything. How have you felt it's been like entering that lexicon of people, you know what I mean?
Of like pop girls?
Yeah, do you feel like there's like support and it's cool?
Yeah, I mean, we luckily, I think right now are in a time of just like, there's so much hate on the internet and so much hate in the world that like internally it's just like very supportive, the most supportive. And all we want to do is see each other win. Yeah. Like all my friends and I, we just have very wholesome relationships.
Yeah,
like
that's so
anytime
nice.
we hang out, it's just very wholesome. I think that's very lucky right now because it is like, we all know how much we get like beat up on the internet. So it's like nice to have friends that like are actually real and nice.
Demonic outside your
so
like little
demonic.
Cookie circle.
Yeah. No, literally we're like, oh, what should we do? Should we knit? Like it's literally like very sweet.
Because the only thing you guys have in common is that you are getting insane energy from the internet.
Yeah.
That is the only thing you guys share.
And that they do music.
Yeah, and then we write music.
But like because of like in that circumstance, you know what I mean? Like that is like that's the thing.
Yeah, it is. It is weird. It is weird because sometimes like you're just like I just started writing for fun, and then
and then it becomes this fucking thing.
It becomes huge. You're like whoa, like you don't expect to get. We know that you're like meant to be judged and music is subjective, but you never expect like the personal attacks.
No. The war that breaks out.
Like you're like, oh, this is a huge deal for no reason.
Right.
And that is crazy.
Was Amy Allen, she was on Think Later too, or you guys were working together even before that?
Yeah, I started working with her on Think Later and this album.
Yeah. I feel like she's getting this like shine now because of the Grammy.
Yeah.
She just won and like working through you and like Sabrina, it's like talk about that process because it seems like you two are very keyed into each other in terms of like the work ethic.
Yeah, I mean, Amy Allen is one of the most talented songwriters I've ever met in my life. She's so incredible, such a badass girl. I worked with her and Julia Michaels a lot on this album. I think it's just interesting. Like no one understands a girl perspective quite like another girl.
Yeah.
So like you can like have other producers in the room, but it's just like she gets it. Like I can kind of just like say, this is happening with my boyfriend, and she'll be like, oh my God, exactly the same. And it's easier to like put into words.
Yeah.
Totally.
But it's very inspiring. We have 2 different like processes in songwriting and obviously different perspectives because we're just have grown up differently. So it's been really fun. I just feel like I get new knowledge every time I work with her.
So when you guys are together, is it like she hops on the keys? And like, wait, what is it? Like, what? Like, what is
like
it?
A jam set.
No. I'm literally like, sometimes when I see these people, like, I just wonder like who actually plays in the room. You know what I mean? The process to me is what's so interesting.
Okay, well, it kind of depends. So if I'm in the studio alone and I'm just writing on my own, someone will play chords or whatever, and I'll like sit in the corner for like a couple hours, go into the studio, track, and that's it. If I'm with like a co-writer, like an Amy or a Julia or a Ryan, usually we'll start a beat or whatever. We'll kind of get like the vibe for the song. Then we'll discuss what the song is about.
I see.
Because you both need to be on the same page.
Right.
So you're working towards the same goal.
Right.
And then it usually just becomes like this, like, you find the magic at some point of what the song is and what you both relate on. And then you kind of just like spit back and forth, different lyrics back and forth and until the song is like built.
So, but a lot of times it like starting with a beat and a track, and then like that a feeling develops around it.
For sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Is there a preference on a style? Is it like, is solo? Because I mean, this is not quite the same thing. Like, I always prefer writing with people.
Yeah.
When it comes to like, you know, comedy or show or scripts or whatever, it's like that. And I've learned to like not feel so bad about like, oh, I don't do so well on my own. But like, do you have one preference?
It's honestly just different. Like other people have different strengths. Like Ryan Tedder is so good at a pop chorus. Like, and that is his strength.
Calling card.
So I'm just like, God, if I'm
Talking
gonna
about like melodically.
like if you want to, if I want to walk into a room and I want to write a pop song, like Ryan, Amy, those are like pop choruses that usually the first thing they sing is like feels really good. But if I'm writing something that I feel like is hard to communicate, like sometimes I feel like I have a hard time discussing my emotions.
Totally.
So explaining it to someone is really even more complicated. So what I do is I need to be alone. I need to like have my subconscious thoughts like spit it out for me.
Yeah.
And then I can like find perspective on the situation, the relationship, because I just really am not great at communicating. And that's like why I started writing in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but if I have like a concept, it's less deep in the back of your head, then it's fine with another person.
Yeah, because either way, you're just making sense of what the song is about.
Yeah.
Whether it's just you needing to like spill for a couple hours, or that you're like reconvening with Ryan and Amy and Julia to be like, what is this gonna be? Like, it's the same destination.
And there's a lot of times where concepts are really obvious and they're like, oh, this is what I need to write about, whatever. And then there's a lot of times where you can only find perspective at the end of the process because then you figure out what you actually meant. And that just takes a lot of digging, like, and that's where I need to be alone. But like if it is an obvious like concept and it's just like something that is happening in my everyday life, there's some things that are sometimes like buried so deep that you're just like, I don't even know where this came from.
What's an example of an obvious concept on the album?
I would say an obvious concept, like a song called Signs.
I love
we
Signs.
both said that was one of our favorites.
Signs is like the most obvious because I'm like, okay, can you please fucking read my mind? Like you need to just like do better.
Yeah.
You need to be able to read me.
Yes.
If this is gonna move forward, I shouldn't have to do anything.
No, literally, like you should just know already.
I get it. Yeah.
You should know already. So this was me and Amy walking in. It was a 5-minute combo being like literally read my mind. And then we started writing the song. So that was very obvious.
Right.
Yes.
Quick, like conversation, nothing too deep. I would say a song like Purple Lace Bra
Yeah.
took a second to like, like it was me writing some concepts on my own, and then came into the room and I cracked it with Amy because I had an idea and she helped me like shape it a little bit.
Yeah.
So that one was like a little less obvious.
So just to like connect all this to when you were younger, because like songwriting is something you find out of like the camera breaking, etc.
Yeah.
But before that, like you're doing dance, and we'll ask you like the central question of the podcast in a second. But I just wonder, like, as someone who was around, you know, girls doing dance contests all the time, and like that was such a fun thing that we all did with each other as kids.
Yeah.
Like, did you have a long period of dance being really fun for you before it became like a job? And if so, or if not, how did you find the fun in it again?
I've always just been obsessed with dance.
Yeah. So it never got to like, it's too much on the schedule. Like, I'm hating dance right now.
Not really. It only started to get ugly at like age 16, 17, where I was like, I want to go to high school.
I hear you.
And I want to be a kid. Right. And I remember feeling that with like, I want to go to school with my brother. I want to go to a party.
Yeah.
I want to drink alcohol. I want to like, it was just like that feeling of like, I need to be normal.
Right. And yet you have this extraordinary gift and opportunity.
Yeah. It was like, it was a catch-22 because I felt like the coolest I ever felt was when I was like in my element.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't feel like cool in school, or like my personality always felt like a little awkward. And so I was like, oh, I'll feel myself when I am in my art and in my craft.
Yeah.
And that's when people will like fully understand me.
Right.
So it was weird because then I went to high school and I was like, oh my God, like now I've even more feelings because I feel so out of place.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm not at ballet school anymore. And so then it drove me after that to like, you know, I think really get into it again. Like,
So to go back to it.
Yeah.
Because high school's a fucking
Beast.
right?
Yeah.
I still think looking back, it was the hardest time.
Yeah.
And they tried
Yeah.
they really tried to make you think this is the best 4 years ever. You're always going to want to be you couldn't pay me
To go back.
No,
I felt the same. High school was interesting.
Calgary High School was interesting. Like what's the vibe in Calgary High School?
Is it Degrassi?
Probably the same. Yeah, like Drake. No, honestly, it was like, it was like normal. It was just like.
The vibe, okay, because I grew up for a quick little second, I grew up in Brossard in Quebec.
Oh, whoa, okay.
And maybe it's a French-Canadian thing, but it's like, it always seemed a little bit, ironically, it seemed a little bit grittier.
Okay.
And like more in your face, but that's maybe the French Canada thing.
Like probably Calgary. I don't know.
But Calgary feels like it's not BC.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
It feels like for real Canadian.
it's like real Canada. You know what I mean?
It is.
The streets.
It's the streets of Canada.
Streets.
Yeah.
The one street.
The one street.
The ones. Wait. But it was rough. It was just hard. It made you feel like it made us feel like crazy.
Yeah, it did make me feel a little crazy because I was just like, oh, I feel really out of place.
Yeah.
And I feel so. I thought I like overthought and overanalyzed myself before this. Now I'm like, it's like, now I think my personality is like the biggest problem in the world. So,
But would you say like did that feed the songwriting at all?
yeah, so that's when I like really started to. I mean, I loved writing since I was a little kid. I'd write short stories and poems all the time, but that's when I really started to get into songwriting because I felt so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That I was just like, people need to understand me.
It's like the second or third time you've said that. It's like about being understood. It's not about being like impressive or anything, which I think is so interesting because your skills are so impressive, but it's not about that. It's about more you getting yourself across and being understood.
For sure. That's what it has always been for me. It's just like literally not being able to explain myself and then being able to explain myself fully through dance and singing and feeling so seen exactly how I want.
Yeah.
And that's weird.
You feel like when you listen to your albums, like, is that the number one thing you want? Is like, I feel like I got myself across there. Like what is it?
That's the goal.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to do that because sometimes you're so locked in a bubble of perfecting songs that you're just like, whoa, what was that?
Yeah.
But that's, I think at the end of the day, the goal out of every album.
I think last album you were like, I have a harder time writing from a place of like joy and happiness because is that still true?
Yeah, I think
You need to hurt.
No.
So depressing.
No, I'm sorry.
No,
No, and I asked that in such a crazy way. I'm just saying, like, because you do write from this place of like, I need to get these emotions out. I need to process in this way. And
totally.
I don't need to process happiness because I'm feeling happy.
It's hard to be driven by
100%.
happiness to express.
You know, I think I'm a pretty happy person. Like
I asked that in such a crazy way. I'm sorry.
No, it was a great way. I mean, it's exactly what it is. I feel like I'm a very normally happy and like stable person. But then there's like one little hole inside of me that's so fucking sad.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is. And it's just like, that's what I write from.
Do you get closer to figuring it out? Like, is it like, what is it? Is it men? Has it been men? Well, it's not now.
The answer is always yes.
Yeah.
I get that.
I really don't know what it is. It's always like, it's been since I was like a little kid. It might be because I'm a Cancer.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
Cancer,
brought
Pisces,
it back.
Scorpio.
Circle. Okay,
We're all
you're a
water
Pisces.
signs.
Yeah.
Scorpio.
Okay.
Yeah. What?
I know more about Pisces than I do Scorpio.
Okay.
But,
Scorpio is the dark Pisces.
Whoa.
And I say that in like all positive ways.
Totally.
Like Scorpio has the edge that Pisces can't muster up. And I feel that way about
Interesting.
Cancer too.
That we don't have the edge.
No. You guys
have the
do
edge.
have
We
the
have the
edge.
edge.
You and Ari, Cancer queens.
Right. We're like a little spicy, but really sensitive.
But mostly
Yeah.
protective.
Right.
Like, so that's the hard shell. Whereas like Scorpio, it's more of the stinger. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like Scorpio don't cross because I always say about him, he doesn't suffer fools.
Right.
Whereas I'm like, I will give everyone the benefit of the doubt and blame myself until I'm like a puddle.
Right.
But
Cancer and Pisces get along really well. Same with Scorpio too.
We all get along really well. We're all water
Yeah.
signs. We're the three water signs.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
we all belong splashing around together.
We do in the ocean.
So we can protect each other, but also open each other up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I feel like when you do write from a place of joy and happiness, it is a huge sort of success because like Two Hands, I feel like is so joyful.
Yeah, it is. Well, I think then that clicks into my like performer side.
Yeah.
Which feels like my alter ego, feels like my side on tour, feels like the mode that isn't my like sensitive self is like what I turn on when it's time to perform.
Yes.
And that's, if I'm going to write that kind of song, I have to be in that headspace.
So my question is like when you are like creating a record that like pretty much already beforehand, because you've had such huge success on streaming and radio and everything, and you're such an exciting artist and you're creating a new album, is there the pressure every time to go in there and like write a hit? Or is it more just about like, today we're writing a single, or like today we're trying to fill out like something that I want to explore? Like, I guess how intentional is the process of writing something that's meant to catch?
I mean, it's so hard because I try not to approach it that way because you just want to like go in and experiment for like months. And then there hits a point where your label's like, okay,
where's the single though?
Experimentation is done. Like, where's the single? And then it becomes really fucking stressful because then you're just like, oh my God, what's the song? And this is where I become the most indecisive person.
Of course.
Like my team like wants to shoot me when I'm picking a single because I can't decide. And I
Don't
can't
hurt Tate.
But isn't it crazy though that like that they do turn to you and then they're like, even for me and my like comedy album,
and like, what do I know?
They turned to me and they were like, so what's the single? And I was like, oh, I was supposed to pick? I feel like isn't that, don't you feel
Their
like
job?
It's kind of nice that it's your responsibility, but also you're like, oh God,
you're
it's
so
my
close
responsibility.
to it, you can't see it. It's like you can't see your own work when you're in the middle of creating it. Like so many words and jumbles and you're like hearing yourself talk and sing back. That's like you can't pick.
Right.
You can't pick from
It's
that.
also like such a ready-made drag from the fan community. Like, oh, she picked the wrong single. You know what I mean?
That's the
like,
worst fear.
And we as like people that talk about pop culture like all the time, like we're guilty of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like when our fave, like in retrospect, like clearly should have picked something else as the first single. It's like, you know, you're like, it's like a thing, but it's not as easy as
it's so not easy
hearing the hit.
It's
you can't
the
read people's
worst.
minds.
It's a special skill and I don't have it.
I think you have it.
I literally cannot pick a single. It's so not obvious to me. It all sounds the same.
But that shouldn't be part of your job.
No.
But it literally
and
is.
That sucks. It is literally part of my job.
Yeah.
And a very important part.
Yeah. How have you felt about the singles this go around? Like, are you excited about the ones you picked?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And what's the reason?
The reason is like, I think you can always have doubts about songs, not like things about some songs, like things about other songs, and wish. The worst part is like, you love things, and then it's like the week to release, you know, this is the worst fucking song I've ever heard in my life.
Just because you've listened to it too much at that point?
Yes, and now you're just like processing it too much. But
Totally.
I think I think singles happen for a reason. I think they make sense, and the album will make it all come together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite song?
Off the album?
Yeah. Like, what's the one you can't wait for everyone to get to? We're obviously talking about this before it's out. It'll be out.
It'll be out.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited for Blood on My Hands.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for Like I Do, because I feel like it's a little different.
Like I Do is great. Flo Milli, I've loved forever.
Yeah, she's great. She's got like...
Sounds
so
great.
great.
She does sound great. I've just also never done a song like that with a rapper, which is
Right.
cool.
Yeah, that's really
your
cool.
first time with like a hip hop feature? Or
Yeah.
with oh, great.
I know.
That's wait. That's
Major.
It's fun.
major.
Yeah, it's
Major
fun.
Laser.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to shout out Green Light because the bridge on that, is it a vocal effect? Because there's like a, like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's sick.
Thank you. I love Green Light too. I think that song.
That was another one of our favorites. Signs
Yeah.
and Green Light were
Signs
the
and
ones
Green Light
we
were our
shouted
favorites.
out.
Green Light was one that I wrote on my own, and that was one where that was a hidden one where I was like, I don't know how I feel right now in this relationship, and not in a bad way, not in like
Right.
I don't know how I feel. It was more or less just being like, what am I feeling? And what I had felt was I was like still hurt from a past relationship.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck, I feel like I'm like waiting at a green light, and I literally just can't press the gas.
Yeah. Wow.
And I thought that was such a weird feeling, and that was like the road metaphor. But that one was fun to write. I like that one too.
There's like the poetry in that is like huge.
Thank you.
Like, yeah, I feel that way so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, it's hard to believe in yourself. Like, it's hard to believe that you're like, yeah, sure, you're giving me the go ahead, but is it going to be worth it once you like really get on the ride with me?
Totally.
And it's scary.
Of course.
Yeah.
And also, you just like can't unhear or undo things that have happened to you in the past.
No,
Like,
you can't.
They're just stuck with you. Like, you are now just a reflection of your past, and you have to learn how to like have a better experience and overshadow that, or fall in love again and feel the good things again. But you have to like jump off first before you fall in love.
I think the scary thing is it's like when you see how much you can give and how much it can go away, it's like, why would you ever do that again?
I know.
And also knowing that the people who give you the most, also you lose the most from them because they gave the most.
It's so weird. Like, you never do this with friendships or
No.
with things in life where you are the closest person, and then it's all of a sudden just like nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that is so shocking to the system.
It's a death.
Like, it is a death. Heartbreak is so awful.
Yeah.
There's like, I was talking about this the other day, and I was just like, that was one of the like worst feelings ever. Like, any type of heartbreaks, you're just like, what is this?
Yeah.
I shouldn't care this much, but I care so much.
You care so much because also it's like, because it's not actually a death.
Yeah.
Then people come in with their opinions on like,
Yes.
what you should be doing to get over it, how much time is okay, but it's literally grief.
It
is
is.
the loss of a person. And you wouldn't talk about someone's grief about an actual like loss to death in that way. So I don't think people should necessarily be judging it. Like, like every time I think of myself in my past being like, girl, come on, move on. Like, you know what it is. It's like, now that I've been through stuff, like you can't.
You can't.
I've never bought into like it takes this long to get over something this
What do
long,
they say? Like half the duration of what it was. It's like,
Really?
that's wrong.
It's just wrong.
Yeah, it is wrong.
Don't listen to people who tell you that.
I agree.
Okay, so it's time for us to ask the question that we ask of all of our guests. This is Tate McRae. What was the culture that made you say culture was for you? This is when you can pinpoint. I think I started to become myself when that moment of pop culture like entered my life.
I've thought long and hard about this because I'm really not like that into pop culture.
But that's fine.
Like,
Any culture.
Okay, but I will say like one moment, I was like a big Disney Channel kid when I was
let's
younger.
go.
And I really do think that shaped my personality. And I remember that Hannah Montana was life-changing for me.
For sure.
Just like me being like, well, I have to become a pop girl now.
Yeah.
I have no other option.
Yeah.
Like, I have to become a pop star now because that is so sick.
I will have a place where I can put that version of me.
Yeah.
Well, she kind of was doing what you talked about, which is like, I do want to be a kid, but also I'm a superstar, and that's how they'll understand me.
Totally.
So
yeah, no, that's how I kind of felt like in high school. Not to that extent, of course, but like a little bit.
Did that open up like country music for you too, in a way, or no?
Like, did it make me want to do country music?
Or just like you did it give you an appreciation? Like, you're like, Billy Ray. Like, who's this man?
Yeah, I mean, who's this man?
I can see you doing country.
You know what? I can too, because Calgary, for some reason, is kind of country. Like, we have like this 1 month in the summertime where literally the whole place is like haystacks, cowboy hats, only country music.
Isn't there a festival?
Yeah, Stampede.
Yeah.
So weird. Like, it's just for 1 month. Like,
awesome.
The whole town goes like
goes country.
Straight country. There's whatever. So I'm like actually into country music.
Yeah.
But I did feel that like coming home, like when Miley would come home and she'd sing The Climb and she'd take off her wig and she'd be like, it's just me. Like,
yeah.
I just like remember being like, this is gonna be me one day. Like,
but literally, look.
Yeah.
It's giving Hannah Montana.
Right.
Honestly,
yeah, for sure.
Was it also a little bit like seeing Miley and also seeing her as someone that was, because I would imagine that it's like the Disney star thing looms so much around the Disney Channel and like Hannah Montana. It's like you see kids that are your age or kids that you can identify with like in the industry, proving that it's somehow possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was really shoved in our faces at that age of like Disney Channel was how the like glamorizing pop stars.
Yeah.
I remember every show, like Camp Rock even, like that was our era.
Yeah.
Of like, oh my
High School
God.
Musical,
like
they
music.
were singing.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Just being like, whoa, like this is legit. Like,
yeah. You want to be a star.
I'm gonna sing. Like,
yes.
Right.
I just remember that feeling like this is the shit. This is the only thing in life is music.
So Miley and Hannah are like the locus, and does it then bring in like Selena and Zendaya and Ari and so
I think that's the whole lore. I think that's what I wish I could like go back and be like, oh, it was an earlier pinpoint, but really it was Disney Channel.
No,
like,
that's the perfect pinpoint.
That was when it like my brain was forming, and I was watching that every day, being like, this, Alex and Mrs. Waverly Place is my personality.
Yeah.
Hannah Montana is my life. And I'm gonna go do Camp Rock with Joe Jonas. Like that was like my whole like, this is going to be my life.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Right.
That's like, no, by the way, did we get Disney Channel in Canada?
Yes.
When I grew up there, it was like YTV was
You
it.
didn't get it? Oh, YTV is like a
But YTV was like Canada's Nickelodeon?
My family had Disney Channel.
You didn't have cable.
I didn't even have cable, but like you would go to school and you would stay after school and you would watch YTV and there was a show called Uh-Oh and like you would get slime.
I remember YTV.
Yeah, no. We had different versions of it. Can I tell you what you would have been absolutely obsessed with? Because we're obviously the same age. You would have rode so hard for Lizzie McGuire.
I know I would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lizzie McGuire she was everything.
Yeah, she was.
There was sleepover in the 5th grade. It was all boys, mind you.
Okay.
And for some reason, it was like midnight. One of the boys, straight as an arrow, allegedly, decides to put on Lizzie McGuire.
The movie or just the show?
Just the show.
Yeah.
And then it's all of these boys talking about how hot Hilary Duff is.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I was just like, but she's being funny.
Yeah.
Like,
you can see her talent?
I'm like, but she's but first and foremost, she's a talent.
Oh my God.
And they were all like, yeah.
So sweet.
But all these guys were like yanking it.
They were yanking it. It's so weird to think about the concept of teen idol because that's essentially what that is. It's all the girls wanting to like for example, it's like someone like Hilary Duff. She's so famous at a time when everyone is going through puberty.
Yes.
And that's weird.
I know. It is weird.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. Very formative years in your life.
Yeah. I remember my friend's older brother had a life-size cutout of Hilary Duff.
No,
and I was like,
That's
now looking back, I'm like, what happened there?
No,
Yeah.
red flag.
Red flag. But then it's like, I was so into her music too.
Right.
Like, Come Clean. I still think Come Clean is one of the great songs.
The club remix of that.
So we're just seeing the talent.
We're just seeing the
Seeing the
talent,
talent.
literally.
Literally.
Okay, how did you meet current boyfriend?
How did I meet current boyfriend? I have known him for 3 years. We've been friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until last year I was in Cabo and he happened to be in Cabo at the same time. And we have never had one good interaction. We're in the same friend group. So we have the same and we hang out all the time. And we had never had one non-awkward experience. Like,
Really?
So it's like a rivals to romance kind of thing. No.
like a little bit. He's like, we weren't enemies. I'm like, yes, we were. Like,
Wow.
we just had this feeling where like every time we would say something to each other, it was just like not what we planned to say.
Yeah.
Like the most social suicide moments of all time.
Yeah.
Like I would trip every time I'd see him or I'd like try to dap him up. I'm like, why the fuck did I just dap him up? Like,
yeah, right.
so
I wouldn't
weird.
dab
Now you know
up
that it was
anyone
love.
else.
You
No.
didn't dab anyone else? Yeah.
Literally, I'm like, what was that? Like, I was so out of character. And I remember he used to be like, why do these friends like Tate? And I'd be like, why do my friends like Leroy? And how do we all get along? And then Cabo, we
But
became,
you just happened to be in Cobb at the same time?
yeah.
That's amazing.
And he texted me and he was like, are you here? And I was like, yes. And then we
Got together.
got together.
He's
Now-
great on the album too.
Yeah, it's so great.
Thank you.
I will say, do you think looking back now, you like it was a subconscious, you liked him the whole time?
No. I think I'm so about personality. Like,
Yeah.
if we have like a funny connection or like you like get me, that's when I'll really get a crush on someone.
Okay.
It's never from like first glance,
Yeah.
Got
like ever.
And so he like got you eventually.
Yeah, because we actually had good conversations that trip. And like, yeah, it felt like we finally clicked. We finally got each other.
Was this after SNL?
Yes.
Okay, because I remember at SNL the afterward. Do you remember this? You and I were like in the room trying to like scope out. You were like,
The
who's
boys.
single? You were like, who's single? I was
Oh, that's so funny.
I was like, well,
I was
like,
really in my single era.
Well, yeah, but
there's a lot of eligible bachelors around
well,
there.
what I told Tate was, I don't think there are a lot
There
of
was
options.
no
There
one
was
at that
no one
party.
at that party.
Yeah, I was sitting beside some people and I was like, we are not hitting it off. Like,
One of my
sorry.
favorite stories is it was SNL after party. It was the Lizzo episode, and you remember this? We were all at the after party, and Lizzo came in ready to party.
Oh,
She
yeah.
She had changed her dress. She came in ready to slay. 20 minutes later, she leaves going, guess not. The party was dead. Like sometimes
It's a roll of the dice.
happens.
Sometimes it's,
alchemy just isn't happening at a
I know.
because
gathering.
I've heard it's like can be the craziest thing on earth. That night it was like, it
Fine.
was like mid-level,
your words.
right?
Yeah, sure.
It's like any party. It's like if there's an alchemy, there's an alchemy.
Totally.
Yeah.
I can't speak ill of the SNL after party because it's, this hallowed thing.
Well,
Right.
you were supposed to come with the bird's eye view on the actual eligible guys there, but apparently it was
And I
not.
pitched a few, but I was like, but no, like Tate
They
needs-
weren't working.
They weren't working.
No.
Like Tate needs something special. And then look, now you're with
Now I have a
your
boyfriend.
guy.
Yeah,
But that was tough. I really don't like looking for guys. Like it's so
it's the
exhausting.
worst. You would rather be pursued.
I'd much rather. I'd
Yeah,
much
yeah.
rather it be like natural. Like it just happens.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's like friends to lovers. Like that. I'm like that vibe.
But that's Leroy in a way.
That was that vibe for sure, which felt way more natural.
Totally.
I'm not like a big like flirt up front. No.
That's not the Cancer vibe anyway.
No.
Is that you flirt?
Like I'm just that's not me.
So the Tate on stage is not the
Tate-
Tate flirt game.
It is so funny. The Tate on stage is like so polar opposite to my actual personality.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana. I'm gonna get dragged for like.
Oh, please.
this
Why would you?
comparison.
We all wanted to be her.
We all wanted to be here, and she's an icon. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know this like person that I am on stage. My mom is always just like,
What?
who is this? Like, I'm like, I don't know. She's like, you're too sexy, or you're too like, it's too much. Like, it's too, the eyes are too intense. I'm like,
Eyes?
it's not me. Like, because I have like these like lock-in eyes.
Yeah, you're galvanized.
Like where when you're on stage, it's just like it's happening.
Yeah, it's time. It's go time.
But it's just like very different from my actual personality. So it's like shocking sometimes to my family.
Well, because you're so you are very like chill and mellow in conversation, and then like in videos on stage, it's like it's the eyes. You're right. You're locked in.
We're locked in.
But like two hands, it's okay. I'm okay. I'm just like even like Run for the Hills. I'm just like you are dialed in. In an amazing way, and I'm like,
Thank you.
It's so interesting to hear you say that. Like, I like it literally is Hannah. Montana.
Right. In conclusion.
Well, imagine you like went on stage for the first time you ever performed, like locked in, were galvanized, and came off, and it never went away. Like your mom would be really freaked out then.
Terrifying.
My daughter's locked in.
Right. What do I do?
What, can you please help? My daughter's locked in.
She's so locked in.
My daughter's too locked
so
in.
dialed. Yeah.
Describe the persona. Who is she? What's she about?
My alter ego. Kind of?
Yeah.
Sasha Fierce.
Literally. I've made it into like a joke, so I talk about it like way too much, like probably way more than I should. But I call her Tatiana.
Tatiana is a really good name for her.
Tate.
Yeah, Tatiana, and it's just when I go on stage, I black out. Like I don't actually remember that much. It's just like we just like perform.
Yeah. I know what you're saying because we leave our bodies sometimes when we're like you feel this way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Like you feel like it's now just like a thing with your body and God, like in the universe. And it's just like you get possessed. And that's the best performance. When I become too aware of like, I always say, this is like the craziest example. When you're on stage and you become too aware and too in your body, it feels like you're like manually breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know when you're in bed and you're like,
yeah.
And you like remember that you have to breathe.
Yes.
And then you stop breathing because you're like, this is an automatic thing.
Wait,
you know?
I've never heard someone describe it this way. This is huge.
Well, okay, don't think about it before bed. If you
because you'll die.
Because you'll die.
if you think about breathing before bed, you will stop breathing.
Yeah.
Right. Oh shit.
Because it is so automatic.
It's like when you become aware of yourself, it's over.
Yeah.
So like that's just it.
And then when you're on stage and you have people watching you and you're like, you forget how to like walk and move.
And so you have
like,
to turn into someone else.
I have to.
Yeah,
Otherwise I
yeah.
become way too aware.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like, I could like do nothing normal. Like nothing it's just like, you have to be in a different body or a different space.
Like it's crazy conceptually to think about the fact that you wrote a song for 2 hours in your room, and then weeks later it was like, okay, like a bunch of people saw this and now they're knocking on my door to like get me to sign.
Yeah.
And then that's the kind of the same thing where it's like you wrote
First
a song.
song she ever wrote.
First song you ever wrote, but it's like
Yeah.
there's like it kind of like translates to this idea of like you wrote something and you like it's a very intimate interior experience, and then you're in front of you're doing an arena tour with all these songs that you wrote in the privacy of your own studio, you know?
Yeah. It's bizarre.
I don't know. I said it's like a stoner thought, but you know what I mean? It's like it's crazy.
That's exactly
crazy.
what it
You
is.
wrote a song and then you had to perform it. So crazy.
It's really crazy.
Yeah.
It is.
No, but that's where I get like all like that's where I feel like the universe is just like planning everything out, because I'm like, these coincidences and these things happening like aren't just like random.
Isolated,
like they're just
random
meant to happen.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that like, yeah, I feel like you like know that from a young age. You kind of like know what you're gonna do or where you're gonna. Yeah.
What's the venue that you're most gagged about performing? Like that you can't really believe is happening?
Well, the Forum will be fun.
The Forum is gonna be great.
I'm doing a couple nights there, which will be fun. And MSG again.
Yes.
I love.
That's wild.
I know. MSG is just special. Just New York. I just bought a place in New York.
Good for you.
Thank you. New York is just like my place.
Yes.
It feels
New York is
so
the best.
magical there.
I love to hear it.
Yeah.
Honestly, oh God, just that there is nothing like it. Do you see a lot of live shows too? Do you go a lot of stuff?
I try. I'm just like on tour a lot.
Did you see the Sweat Tour?
Yes, I did.
Did you see that at Madison Square Garden?
I saw that at the Forum.
Okay,
Oh,
so
fun.
I
It was
heard
unbelievable.
the Forum was great. Madison Square Garden, I thought it was gonna flip over.
Really?
Yes, it was
Oh.
so crazy. Troy's music just sounds different in there because
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
more of a vibe. Like it was kind of breathing. I love like the Charlie and Troy show because it was like when Troy was out there, it was like cool and like pillowy and gorgeous. And then Charlie came out and just like punched you in the face.
Yeah.
And it was rotating between that. But when she was in that venue, I thought it was gonna flip over.
Wow.
That was one of the best shows I've seen in a very long time.
Absolutely.
It was so good.
Yeah.
So well. I loved the two of them flipping
Yes.
on and
Yeah.
off. I haven't
Yeah.
seen a show like that before.
That needs to happen more often.
I think so too.
Not since Justified Stripped.
Or the then scrapped Kanye Gaga tour,
Oh wow.
2009.
It's crazy to think about that as a reality.
Crazy.
It was gonna
Yeah.
happen, and then it got canceled after the VMAs. After I'm gonna let you finish. That is like something split in the fabric of culture at that night.
We were just talking about that.
We were just talking about
that was so consequential for like all of pop culture history that night.
For the
Him
next
doing
20
that.
years.
That was wild.
Yeah. Wait, you did Tokyo for the last tour.
Yes, I did.
Tom, was this on the Tate trip that you guys went? Okay, tell me everything. What'd you think?
We just went to Tokyo for the first time. We ate so much steak.
Yes.
I turned into a grain of rice. I ate so much rice.
I love rice.
Like but we had like the best time ever. Like Tokyo is one of my favorite places. It's magical.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I've never seen it. We played with pigs.
Yes, you went to a micro pig cafe.
We did. That was like number one.
Micro pig?
Yeah, they're like, well, they're maybe not
They're
micro.
Big, they're big.
There's some
macro
big ones.
pigs.
They're macro pigs.
They're macro pigs? That sounds horrifying.
There's like a street in Harajuku, Takashita Street. Or I don't know if this is the one you went on, but there's like multiple places in Tokyo where it's like the puppy cafe, no problem. The kitten cafe, no problem.
Yeah.
The new animal is the micro pigs.
Yes.
And then the even newer one is Otter Cafe.
Those are crazy.
Those are crazy.
Yeah.
It's a cafe with otters?
You eat, you pay, you like order some food, you eat, you sip your tea, and then they run around and they come up to you.
Yeah, and they like sit in your lap.
Okay, this is too precious.
It was perfect. And then they all stack on top of each other. So there's like 8 in your lap at once.
So what animal are you? You can't say micro pig. Because I'll fight you.
I don't know if
it's fine.
Yours is a micro.
No, I'm so not a micro pig.
What do you think yours is? What are your guys'?
People that wanted to really drag me to hell would be like, I'm some sort of reptile.
Okay.
But I don't think I am.
I don't really see that.
I would like to be some sort of crazy bird.
Okay. I could see that.
You can?
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing. I'm just like picturing it.
I feel like I'm a bird. I feel like definitely giving
ostrich.
They don't even fly, bitch.
They don't have to.
I was gonna say eagle.
I don't think you're an ostrich.
I was gonna say falcon. I'm a falcon.
Yeah, okay, you're a falcon.
So with that, what are you?
I might be a pig. I might be a pig of some kind.
Okay.
I don't know.
I feel like you're more of like a koala or something.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, I'll take koala. Chlamydia down. Got so
they all have chlamydia.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be koala.
I feel like I would be a.
Don't look at him.
I feel like you're.
I want to be a cheetah, but I'm not a cheetah.
You are
you're
a
absolutely
cheetah.
a cheetah. What are you
You
talking
think so?
about?
You don't think you're a cheetah?
I don't think I'm that fast.
It's not about speed. It's just about the demeanor.
Right.
You have a cheetah energy.
Really?
Yeah. Like when you're on stage, like that's who that girl becomes.
Tatiana is a cheetah.
She's a cheetah.
She's a leopard.
I could be more of like a rhino or something.
Rhino? Have some respect for yourself.
I feel like they're like.
I love that we're asking her what she thinks she is. Every time she says something, we're like, no!
I think you are a cheetah.
You're a cheetah. Okay, I'll take it.
It's Tate and Tatiana. You know what I mean?
Yeah, together.
Yeah.
We're a cheetah.
Because a cheetah writes too.
Just a little slower.
Yeah.
Think a little slower than a cheetah.
So maybe mountain lion.
Okay.
I like that.
Mountain lion is good.
Stands above, sees the world for what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you call her Tati sometimes, or is it full on Tatiana?
I call her Tatiana.
Yeah, don't say Tati to her.
Yeah.
Tatiana will fuck you up.
Yeah, she will.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's okay.
Was Tati getting arrested, or was it was Tati getting arrested?
Tatiana.
There's no Tati.
I'm sorry. Tatiana was getting arrested, or was that Tate?
That was Tatiana for sure.
Tatiana's
that whole
across the-
video.
You would never get arrested.
No.
What are your crimes that you've committed?
I've actually never committed a crime.
Never?
I'm a big goody two shoes.
Really?
Yeah, I really do not cause any trouble, I will say.
That's good.
Disney Channel vibes.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm one of those good kids.
I am good. I'm pretty wholesome.
Team, is this true?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think
They can confirm.
I'm pretty goody two shoes. So like that arrest scene was funny. My parents were on set too.
Oh, they were?
But
Was it giving a pasty vibe?
I don't know. It wasn't even naked.
It was a tits
Oh!
It was okay. Yeah. Let me say this.
Set the record straight.
This the editing was so good that it looked like I was super naked. I was in like full on like a workout set, just beige.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there and I'm just doing my acting.
Yeah.
Right.
Like whatever. So it wasn't even that intense.
Yeah.
And so my parents were like, woo! Like,
yeah. So they were like, we're so down.
we're so down.
That's Tatiana out there getting topless arrested.
This is pop. Like,
yeah, this is pop.
My dad was like, yes. Like, like they were just like, this is really cool. And then the editing came back.
Right.
And it looked so realistic.
It was giving Girls Gone Wild.
It was giving like, whoa, like they did too good.
Sure, they did too good.
And the final edit wasn't until like 2 days before.
Oh,
so
wow.
we had been all the edits. Everyone was like, oh, this is great. It was like beige. And then the final edit was like so realistic.
So real.
That all of us were kind of numb to it. So when I was like, when the internet became like shocked, I was like, oh, like I didn't really like think too hard about this.
Are you? But the internet will always think too hard.
Of course.
That's their job.
So that was funny because it wasn't actually like, it wasn't that like
salacious
on set.
Shit, I'm sorry that I said tits out earlier.
It's okay.
It was disrespectful.
I'm apologizing all throughout this episode.
I didn't take any offense to it.
Okay.
No, she was cool as cucumber.
Cool as cucumber. I have a question. How long does choreo live in you? Like, could you like?
Oh, that's good.
Do you need to be refreshed? How much do you need to be refreshed?
Okay, so I can pick up pretty fast, I would say. Like I can learn it right before, memorize it and perform it. Like for when we premiered It's Okay, I'm Okay, like we learned it the day before.
Wow.
And then did it. Once I do the performance, it's out of my head. Like I don't remember unless we rehearse it for weeks and then it like sticks.
Because something else has to go up in the brain.
Yeah, I have like no memory. So,
but for tour, like, what do you know?
I was gonna ask if you have a favorite dance break of all time. Like, if you have a favorite pop music dance break
of all time.
Like, what's one that you're like that she or he shredded that?
I need to think.
I know, because now it's gonna that's the thing. Is like whatever you say is gonna have weight because now you're the queen of the dance break.
That's a hard question. I need to think on that for a second.
Yeah, no, think on it.
Because that's a big one.
That is a big one.
There's so many.
Because you know what jumps to mind for me?
What?
This isn't probably it, but I think one that, because it was so dance contest, me, the little gay boy, and my girlfriend's culture, Janet Jackson, All For You.
Oh,
Janet Jackson, All For You, like that was a song that probably was a hit primarily because of groups of little girls and gay boys doing dance contests
from
to it.
When she's in the train station.
Just now, that's what I call music. I don't know. Let's call it 4.
Yeah,
like just track 1, boom, 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 boom. That was a deep.
I'm gonna agree with
one.
my sister. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Still thinking.
I'm still thinking.
Fine.
Like. I'm still thinking.
No.
Yeah, no. Because it's a commitment when she says it.
It is a big commitment.
I know.
That's a huge. I mean, I would say like Single Ladies by Beyonce.
Well, yes.
Like, I just think that was big for me.
Did you learn it immediately?
I don't think I did.
Yeah.
But I just remember watching it.
You just appreciated it.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm saying like for tour, like you're gonna have to like I was this close to trying to learn the dance break for 2 hands.
Okay.
Because I was trying to do like the like
okay.
But like you're literally like upside down like across the windshield. Wait, what do it again?
I don't know what move you're referring to.
Well, shit.
Wow. She didn't even know what you were referring to.
I didn't do that. She's like, I never fucking did
because you went like this.
Well, she on like,
which is kind of
like
kind of cool.
When she sings the word, when you sing the word 2,
I'm trying to remember the choreo.
I want you to hit. No.
Wow, I can't believe we're watching.
Wow,
this.
Oh my god,
this is cool.
This one?
Yes.
Wait, do that.
Do it again.
It's like
yes. Because that's getting car.
That's a dancer's hand.
It's like the
hand wave,
and then you like drive the car.
Yes.
But that's so, I'm obsessed because it's like it's giving car.
It is. It's like giving like hip wave and then car.
So what would happen if? Would you be proud of us if we did the 2 hands choreo?
Yes. Yes.
We're gonna do it.
We might do it.
You should.
I'm gonna tell you my idea for later.
Okay.
Okay, maybe you can even be involved.
Okay. What do you guys
You'll
think?
be on tour.
You'll be on tour.
Okay.
When is tour until for now? Many send.
They laugh. The team laughs because it's going for 4 years.
Really? October.
Because you want to have a Halloween.
Of course I want to have a Halloween.
Yeah.
So November, because we just announced new dates.
Wow.
Congratulations. And that's why I said for now. Because I knew y'all had a trick up your sleeve.
We knew the team was going to push it.
Yeah. So now it's November and I don't get a Halloween.
No, that stinks. You'll get a Christmas.
I'll get a Christmas.
You need to spend Halloween in New York, and then you're going to sell your house and be like, I never want to live here.
Why?
No, it gets
No,
so
you're going to be so
chaotic.
obsessed. By the time you get to like actually, well, you spent time in New York. You've been home and you get to like acclimate and make it your home.
I actually haven't moved in yet.
Oh,
got it,
okay.
got
I
it.
put the offer in like 2 days ago.
Congrats.
Oh,
Thank
nice. And so it's going to happen.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Sometimes they pull out.
No, yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
New York real estate is
It's intense.
gnarly and nasty. But when you finally finish tour in November, like then you're gonna move. And I think that November, December, actually September, October, November, December, that
The fall months.
quadrant, the
Yeah.
fall months, thank you, is the best time to be in New York.
Yes.
I think so too. I think I'm
Magical.
gonna really enjoy it there and then in the next year in New York.
And you do have a place here too?
Yes.
You gotta.
Yeah.
You got it.
I got it.
Favorite dance break of all time?
Wait, didn't I say single ladies?
Oh,
she did.
fine. Yes,
Beyonce?
yes, yes. Okay.
She's
All
like,
right.
didn't I answer this hard-ass question that's gonna cause me to get dragged online because
Yeah.
now I didn't say these other girls?
Yeah, exactly.
Shit.
Hello? Can't win in this town.
I didn't realize that that's what we were putting you through.
That was a very Bowen response.
Ugh.
Cancer vibes.
You can't survive.
Well, I think.
Your hand in this award right now?
I know.
Yeah,
Can you
absolutely.
believe
Well, okay. So we're gonna do
this episode's winning a Webby?
This episode is winning a Webby, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do the choreo of two hands.
Uh-huh. Where?
We'll tell you later.
Okay.
It will be, I'm not to brag. There might be eyes on it. Like people
No,
are
there's gonna be
people-
eyes on it. We're just saying we hope we don't disappoint you.
Well, do you need some help like how to learn it?
Yeah.
Are you gonna teach us?
Yeah, I can help. If it's like,
We should learn from you.
As if we have your
We have your
approval.
blessing.
of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love that.
It's actually huge.
I'd be honored.
We just told Tate the idea and we had to skip past it and cut that out.
and
Yeah.
she approves.
I approve.
Yeah, it's gonna
It's
be
exciting.
good. Okay, well, this has been, very sweet time, but now we have to get a little nasty and dirty with I Don't Think So, Honey.
That's right. This is I Don't Think So, Honey. This is our segment where we each take 1 minute to rail against something in culture. Matt, do you have something?
You know what? I do have something, and it's time. Okay.
Is it in culture or it can just be in
It
life?
can be anything. I mean,
Okay.
mine is very much in life. I'm not doing I Don't
Okay,
Think So,
mine's
Honey.
gonna be in life too.
In life, okay.
We'll all do life. I Don't
Yeah.
Think So, Honey. This is Matt Rogers' I Don't Think So, Honey. His time starts now.
I Don't Think So, Honey, man bun. I still see some of you doing it. And can I say, like, it was never it.
Right.
It was never it. The tiny little man bun was never it. And I'm
Okay.
looking around. I don't think I see anyone here that's giving a man bun. I see potential on a couple people. I see potential hair length where you could give that. As someone who is starting to wade into the might grow my hair out community, I have a
Yes.
buzz right now for people that are only listening. I may grow my hair out. I'm committed
30
to
seconds.
no little bun because I'm going to show you a video of me with long hair and it actually looks good. I put a wig on. Okay. If you're gonna grow your hair out, just give it a style, give it something. Just the tossing it up into a messy bun. You are not iconic girls from my high school.
15 seconds.
You're not.
Right.
Like the only way you can toss your hair up into a messy bun and come out and have it be slay is if you are an iconic girl from my high school. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
These
Totally
girls
like
that
the 5
came in
seconds.
like the sweatpants with the top rolled down on the slides and the messy bun and lacrosse sweatshirt. Only you with the messy bun. Everyone else, especially you gentlemen, it's got to stop.
And that's 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's where I'm at on that.
Okay.
And you know what has really pushed me over the edge? It's, the old photos of Justin Baldoni?
I don't.
Like when he had the hair up
When
in
he
the
was
bun.
in Jane the Virgin.
When he was in Jane
Right.
the Virgin, yes. And he would
That.
give,
What
What
when
do
he
you
would
know about pop culture?
when he would serve a bun, I was like, see, I can't believe we ever did this.
Right.
But you are thinking about growing your hair out? Or
I'm
you're
thinking about growing my hair out. I'm just saying, if it ever gets to the point where you see me and I have long hair and I'm like, you know what, guys, hold on a second. And you see me toss it up into a bun, please stop me and remind me of this. Play
I
the
like
clip.
your hair right now.
I like
think
your
it's
hair right
cute.
now.
You thought you like a buzz?
Yeah, it looks really good.
Thank you.
It complements your skull shape.
It does.
Do I have a good
You have a
skull
really
shape?
good
Yes, you
skull
have great
shape.
bone structure.
That's what you wish for.
That's hard because a lot of people don't have a naturally good skull shape.
Could you buzz?
No, I don't think so.
Well, you have such great hair. Why would you?
I don't think I could buzz.
No.
I feel like I have a strange head shape.
Did you get tummy time as a child? Yeah, you must have gotten.
What's tummy time?
Tummy time is when when you're a baby, they flip you over on your tummy so that you're not lying on the back of your head the whole.
Oh, I didn't get any of that.
I don't know. I feel like they must have forgot. Mine was a little flat.
Give me tummy time. I have a little bit of a flat head too. Want to tell you about that?
You know what's a tip for babies is my mom says that your hips form before you're 2 years old. So if you stretch your baby's hips before you're 2 years old, she did this to me. She would stretch my splits before I was 2.
Wow.
And so my hips are naturally open because she formed my hips that way.
Whoa.
So that's a trick. If you want to have
So you got it from your mama.
I did get it from my mama.
You got it from your mom. Put me on the clock. I've got something.
Okay, wow, wait, hold on. He's about to go against his mother. I know this.
No,
He's about to drag. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, this is Bowen. Why don't I have my thing? This is Bowen Yang's I Don't Think So, Honey. His time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. Not my mom, but just the hip architecture in human beings in general. Do you know we have our hip flexors go from back to front, and we have side going across the pelvis. It's crazy. I think it's where I'm gonna go. It's how I'm gonna die. Is something's gonna happen to me in the hips. Like I'm trying to use them in dance settings and maybe a sexual setting, and it's just
maybe.
not.
Wow.
It's
30
not.
seconds.
It's not. I'm not executing the way I want to execute on the hips.
Your hips do lie.
I've been doing the same split stretch routine for the past 2 years. I'm no closer to getting into the splits.
Yeah.
My mom should have done this. What your mom did.
15 seconds.
What Tatiana's mom did.
Meng
flopped. And I can't believe I listen, it's like the one childhood school trauma that stays with me. I'm like,
is your hips?
All these girls and boys were doing the splits in front of me, and I was like, I want to do that. And I still, after a lifetime of stretching, can't.
That's 1 minute.
Can't do the splits.
That's really
how
I can't do it either.
Well, I guess you can't answer how you got to do it because your mom kind of did the work for you.
Well,
amazing.
but then you just stretch. I did rhythmic gymnastics when I was younger too.
I was gonna say.
So they would take your like first leg on a chair, your back leg on a chair, and they'd sit on your knees. It's
that's crazy.
And you'd just be sobbing for like minutes.
just why sobbing. Is this happening? And they're like, so you can one day become the queen of the dance break.
Literally. Actually, that was.
This is for your own good, Tate McRae.
Yeah, maybe that hole of pain is from that.
It's from that.
It's from the chairs.
From Miss Things sitting on you.
So you were that girl who could just whip out a cartwheel.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I was so jealous of you growing up.
I was that bitch.
Yeah, you were that bitch. You were like, Tate's flipping in the back.
Yeah.
You were always upside down.
Yeah.
Well, for Greedy, you literally shot your leg up like a full 180, like straight line up and down. And I was like, how do you do this?
Right.
It's that.
It's that.
After you slay so hard, do you just laugh? Because you're like, did it again. Is that a weird question?
I wish it was that easy.
Yeah.
Why'd you look at Tom?
Because if I, all I'm saying is if I was you and I just tore it up.
Could you imagine me just like?
Yes, that's what we're saying.
If I was you and I just came out, I was like, do it to me, and just like ate, I would be like, whatever. Like
I'm that bitch.
Maybe that's what I should start doing.
You have a very high degree of that girl ability.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's a word I made up.
A little giggle at the end.
That girlable.
That girlable.
Like all your music videos are very that girlable.
Thank you.
All the songs have a high degree of that girlability.
Speaking of hair, I think you should consider like the long black middle part like you have in sports car.
Really?
That looked incredible. What?
Really?
Yes.
I think it made my face look a little long.
Wasn't thinking that.
No one was thinking that. That's the voice in your head.
That's the voice in my head. I felt like I needed like a layer or something. We didn't have enough time to cut a layer though.
Really? Oh, it looked perfect because that was you next to the horse.
Yep.
That horse looked scary.
He was super nice, actually.
Oh.
He was really cute and sweet.
You're a horse girl.
I'm allergic to horses, but I do love them.
Okay. I love that interaction. You're a horse girl. I'm allergic to horses,
but I do love them.
I just can't help but feel like I always, when I was little, my sister did gymnastics. And so all of her friends did gymnastics and they were flipping, turning, screaming to the skies. Like I was just like, why can't I move?
Yeah.
It's because my mom didn't sit on my hips.
Yeah.
Which is not what, I don't think that's what you did.
So you did rhythmic gymnastics, not like competitive gymnastics.
With the ribbon and.
I had a ball routine.
Yes.
Where you like put the ball in between your back and you have to like He's like literally like do a somersault with it.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about like who thought of that? Who thought to do that?
I have no idea. And I also don't understand the reason for it. Like, I don't understand why I trained that hard to like fit a ball between my back and do a
crazy. Can we for a second think about every gymnastics event? It's all insane. Uneven bars. It's like, what? It's like someone one day was like, you know what it's going to be? Girls are going to run as fast as they can towards a brick. They're going to fly off the brick hands first, flip in the air and land on their feet. And if they don't, it's flop.
It is, but it's such an interesting thing because it's the same with dance. Like, I did a music video yesterday. I'm like, I am literally dying for dance right now. And then just dance.
Category is dance
like,
or
I'm
die.
just like exhausted, bruised, like literally killing myself and just for a dance break.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is such a weird concept.
One day shoot?
Yep.
Well, that's play. You got to knock it.
I have bruises everywhere. Fuck. Yeah.
I can't believe you came here.
Yeah.
What you didn't see is she had to drag herself to the seat.
I did.
And we didn't help. We sat here, we were like...
Yeah, it was cold.
Cold as hell. Okay, it is your opportunity and time to do it. I don't think so, honey.
Okay.
And I can tell that you're going to tear.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
This is Tate McRae's I Don't Think So, Honey. Her time starts now.
Okay, so I'm only doing this because my mom just came into town and it's just a frustration I've had with Carplay in my car.
Speak on it.
So whenever my parents, so it's a little finicky, like the USB and the Bluetooth switches on and off a little bit, but then I get to a point where it's pretty consistent and I walk in, it clicks, whatever. My parents come into town and every single phone hooks up all of a sudden. And they're like, I'm like, guys, turn off your Bluetooth. And they have no idea how to turn off the Bluetooth.
30 seconds.
So it's just like swipe. I'm like, mom, dad, I like grab their phones. I'm like, it is the most frustrating.
Speak on it.
And I'm just like, why does the car have to click to their phones? They don't live here. This isn't their car. Why is it connecting to this?
15.
And it's just really hard because I feel like I lose ownership of my car when they come into town. Because I can't listen to my music. My navigation is off and it's just really frustrating. So. And
that's 1 minute. Say, I don't think so, honey.
I don't think so, honey.
There we go.
Carplay
now it's officially etched in time.
Now it's etched in time. Carplay should know that it's a dad phone or a mom phone.
It also should just be better. I don't understand why it's not better.
No, it's going to kill us.
Like,
Carplay's going to kill us because when it starts to act up and you're driving and you kind of can't
that
stop yourself from being like,
my turn isn't, Yeah,
well, for me, it's like, I need music to be playing in the car.
Same.
Like, I'm not, and maybe a podcast, but usually music. And to say nothing of directions, which is also a thing with CarPlay. It's like, you cut off my music and directions. Why am I in the car to begin with?
Yeah, exactly.
And now I'm on the road, like, hello, doing surgery, like on my car. And I'm like, this was supposed to be easier.
Yeah, it's not.
Like everything they say that makes things easier. That's why I don't trust the self-driving cars. I'm like,
no,
thanks,
no.
but no
that's
thanks.
Scary.
Like,
that is really scary.
It's crazy. Every time they have made an advancement in cars, I'm like, I feel as though we can go back to basics.
I think so too.
Are you doing Google Maps or Apple Maps for directions?
Apple Maps.
Don't say that.
Why are you guys Google Maps?
No, we're not. You're so sweet about that.
Why are you guys Google Maps? No, we are. I'm Google Maps, but I just feel like Apple Maps is so tough.
Actually,
really?
No,
I think the complete opposite.
Really?
Sometimes Apple Maps is really, really good.
I think it's just a cleaner layout.
Yeah.
I think that it's just like less like clunky.
All right.
Like you have to like zoom in on Google
Yes.
Maps. Apple Maps is just automatic.
Yeah. You know what came and went? Waze.
Oh, it's still
I
going
think
strong.
people still use it.
Waze is still out there.
We just lost a huge Waze sponsorship.
Big chunk of the podcast.
Yeah.
Turned it off.
And we were struggling, so they're going to ask for our Webby back.
Damn it.
Yeah.
We needed that.
Here, take our Webby back.
Okay.
Yeah, do you want it?
Sure.
Tate McRae accepts this Webby on our behalf.
Thank you.
You know, if you flick it, it springs. Look. Do that.
Doesn't it feel kind of good to
like
put your hand in?
Like, see?
Like this? Is that what you're trying to make me do?
It's like, doesn't it feel kind of good to put your hand in it to justify that he was doing it?
It does feel good.
It feels great.
Like a bracelet, but not really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
This has been such a nice time getting to know you. You're fucking cool as hell.
Thank
You're
you.
so talented.
Thanks, guys.
And we're going to come see you.
Please.
Can we?
Would love.
We want to come see you at MSG.
Please come.
Yes.
That would be so fun.
And maybe even By then, we'll have the 2 hands choreo down.
I think we will. I'm gonna
Hell
do
yeah.
the.
You'll see us in the crowd, like literally hurting everyone around us.
I think that's gonna. We're gonna start up the TikTok trend.
Okay.
We're gonna do it.
Perfect.
Has there not been a TikTok trend started at this point?
I think there is for that dance.
Probably.
Do you dictate what the trend is?
I don't think you really can. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
you can do like just post stuff,
Yeah.
and if it trends, it trends.
Because like, there wasn't Charlie. Someone else made the
Someone
apple
else.
dance.
Someone else did the apple.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was good.
It was so good.
That was good.
That's what you want. I mean, we'll be that girl for you. You know.
Yeah, that's
You know
what you
I mean?
want.
That's what. That's what you want.
To have someone else create
Yeah.
something.
This is a marketing meeting now.
Yeah.
Yes. The team's all here.
Yeah.
Well, so close to what is out right now. Please
Listen to it. Have some fun for once in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking go listen to Flo Milli, spit
Shred.
bars.
Have a glass of wine, listen to the album,
Yes.
sit back.
Is that,
Wine
is that
album.
your optimal vibe for it? Like, have a glass of wine, listen
I
to
think
it.
so.
Yeah.
And like a chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't think too hard. I mean, but think
That's
hard.
the next
Think
album.
hard. Don't think too hard. Think harder and then
Think
don't
later and then don't.
think
Don't
later.
think too
Don't
hard.
think too hard.
They're like, we're getting mixed messaging from Tate.
Yeah, just completely contradicting myself every album.
Okay, we end every episode with a song. I guess the apples are the good. We already messed up. It's this.
You started it.
Hey,
And one.
That's the best part of the
That's
dance.
the best part
That
of the
was
whole
the
dance.
one.
And one.
I do love the end one.
Yeah.
So that's for you to do at home. Bye.
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 Las Culturistas is a production by Will Ferrell's Big Money Players and iHeartRadio podcasts.
Created and hosted by Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang. Executive produced by Anna Hosnier and Hans Sani.
Produced by Becca Ramos. Edited and mixed by Doug Babe and Monique Laborde.
And our music is by Henry Kaburski.